Welcome to Shutter and Flow. Today we're going to talk about wrapping up 2025 and some things for 2026. We're going to talk about maybe some holiday gift ideas, some trends that'll be coming up next year, and just some things that Jeremy and I are kind of both focused on since it's the end of the year.
Yeah, we're actually recording this a few weeks. We're good. We plan ahead.
Pretty close, but yeah.
Yeah, we're like 2 weeks ahead, but I'm finalizing. I just had my last shoot of the year. Hopefully, I think so. Yesterday, wrapping all that up. I have a little bit of time to finalize family gifts and all of that, which I'm ahead on. But I need to do some client gifts, some thank you gifts. It's just a nice little touch at the end of the year of your top clients. Give them something. It doesn't have to be big. I think the more creative, the better. So I'm working on that this week, and it's a fun one. You may get one too whenever you come here. I share the example. My son has a 3D printer, and I found a way to make little statues. So this is one of my clients, and I actually took his headshot from it, and you put it in the software, and it makes a little bobblehead type thing. And they have different versions you can do, and I did marble filament. So I'm going to send him a little statue of himself for his desk.
Do you know what it reminds me of is the Jack Daniels statue?
That's why I did the marble, because I was like, that'll look cool. I might try one in copper or bronze filament also. Just a fun little thing that I was like, it's personal, it's unique. There'll probably be a bottle of bourbon in here with it, but either way,
they'll probably keep it on their desk at work, which is great, right? Because then they'll also remember you. But I know this is great, right? So it's the end of the year. You have your favorite clients. You have people that you work with often. At the very least, it is a great time of year to, at the very least, send them a message, an email, something, just to kind of, wish them happy holidays and, remind them that you're somebody they should hire for next year without actually saying that.
And also, handwritten thank you notes actually go a long way. It makes a difference. Even if you don't have your own stationery, whatever it is, go get some nice note cards. Go do that. It wouldn't be a bad idea to do custom ones. It might be too late now, but even if it's past the end of the year, people are slow in January. It's still fine to do it.
You can send a late Christmas gift. It's fine. You can just say it's like the Happy New Year gift. It doesn't really matter. People will still appreciate it. So even if you're listening to this will be out the week of Christmas, I think. It's still not too late. You have probably a lot of time just sitting around with family. If you haven't sent your clients anything, think about sending them something. Even just a nice bottle of wine or a bottle of booze or something goes a long way.
Yeah, but I think it's important to personalize it in some way, and that can just be a handwritten note saying thank you. It was whatever it was. Love spending the time with you this year, collaborating. I think it's a very smart little touch just to keep you top of mind. And that is an important thing to be.
Yeah. So what are you getting? Are you looking at getting yourself anything fun for Christmas this year? What's kind of on your list of things that you're looking at?
Besides this awesome vintage Seattle Mariners hat that I'm wearing right now.
I'm not really sure why you're wearing a Mariners hat.
Because it's a Griffey hat. I mean, King Griffey Jr., come on. This is the hat that he kind of wore in the original rookie cards. I found out that was photoshopped, by the way.
Amazing.
Yeah. I'm always looking at stuff. It's the problem with me is I see something, I buy something. I have been really debating a new camera. I don't know yet. We tried the Hasselblad. I kind of want to try the Fuji. We're going to see how that goes. Right now.
Hasselblad, I think talking about it, we kind of landed on the fact that it's just not that practical, especially for if you want to shoot it tethered and it's a medium format DSLR.
It's an amazing camera for a specific thing.
Yeah.
And it's a little slower in a good way. If you're shooting fine art landscapes, there is a thing that it is perfect for. For what I do, I need something just a little bit faster.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful piece of machinery and I would love to have it, but it's not practical.
Yeah. I've been looking at the new Wacom tablets because I don't know. It's always nice to have a new tablet. I have a handful of tablets sitting around. I don't really need a new one, but I'm always up for trying the newer ones.
Okay, here's my
So
question on that. Have you what are your thoughts on the one that has an actual screen?
I don't like these screens, but that's a personal preference, right? I already tend to use a medium-sized tablet and then limit the amount of space that the tablet uses. So
Hmm.
I'm literally using a medium-sized tablet with a small I only use about this much of the tablet. I could use a small one, but the reason I use the medium one is because it's more comfortable to rest your hand on while you're using it. It's such a personal preference, but I don't want a screen because I am just so used to using my hand. Years ago, when they first released the actual full monitors,
Hmm.
we tested them, and it's just not the little bit of latency that you get is enough to drive me crazy. So even in the tablet that I currently have, sometimes I'll just use it on Bluetooth and it's not connected. I feel like even when the battery power is a little low or something like that, it adds just the tiniest bit of latency. And so I'll usually just connect it to get that tiny, like fraction of a second more speed. I think they're cool. I also think the new pens are great. I think all the Wacom products are always amazing, and I think it's fun to test out the new stuff. But in reality, the way I tend to work on them, I don't use a lot of the preloaded buttons and preloaded settings because I have keyboard shortcuts for everything else anyway. Um, I use a separate keyboard so that I can actually have like hotkeys and everything. It's personal preference. But I do think they're cool. And I think if you're not used to using something a lot, like if you don't use a tablet hardly ever, and you do start using one, just get whatever you think is great to play with. And you might end up really liking that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the nature of creatives in general. I see it with photographers and certain cameras and how they shoot things and how they set up things. And it's
Yeah.
like, once you're comfortable doing it, it's like you can change a little bit. But I mean, I tried one of those monitor ones and it seems like you're just hunched over a lot more and like looking
Yeah, well,
down.
and then
And
I think that's the other thing, right? Is that you're looking at that versus sitting upright, looking at a screen, or standing and looking at a screen, and you can actually. I think that's one of the reasons I just kind of like the older kind of versions of the tablets. But aside from personal preference, I'm always trying to think of what gives me the best results that I can use something quickly. If they came out with a new tablet that would make me faster and better quality at what I do, of course I'm going to switch, but until that happens, which hasn't happened yet, I think, a generation back or two of tablets isn't very different than the newer ones, but
I'm probably due for a new one. Mine is quite old and I don't use it as much, but like I have one of the small travel bamboo ones and then the
yeah.
bigger, like, and they're very old. They still work, but I should probably upgrade at
Yeah.
some point
I
too.
will say if you're using an old tablet that you cannot connect with Bluetooth, um, just upgrade to one of the newer ones. I still use the Bluetooth pretty often just
Yeah.
because sometimes you're like, I don't know, you're moving and you're on a laptop and you just have a tablet, and like the ease of just not having a bunch of extra cables is super convenient. Or if you're like on set or on location or in a studio or something, like you just grab it out. Everything's wireless. You can just open up your laptop and just quickly go to work, and it is kind of nice.
Yeah.
Um,
What are
Another
you
thing,
looking to buy?
and
Anything
this
for you?
is shameless plug. No, I have been working on an app for the better part of the last few months. It's been out for a little bit, but by the time this comes out, the newest version will be released. So if you want something fun to play with that just came out, it is called Slow Roll. I will add the link to the top of the show notes. It's just a fun camera app. It works like a disposable camera. You can share cameras and shoot together with other people. It's free and you can just download it on the Apple App Store as long as you have an iPhone, no Android. So,
Well, no one needs an Android anyways.
yeah,
No, it's great. I have it right here. I pulled it up.
yeah, it's super
Um,
fun.
it's just the best way I think to describe it to people is like you're shooting with an old school point and shoot disposable camera, but different cameras have different treatments that look unique. And when you shoot it, it just has a very unique look and a little more custom as opposed to just firing away with everything else. It's a lot of fun. By the way, you owe me. I was looking through one of the things, and I don't think you licensed that image from me properly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Wait, was there an image? There's no images that were your images on there, right?
Yeah, it's a picture of you up on top of a mountain.
That one. Okay, yes, absolutely. I will pay you licensing fees. So my favorite ones that I've been using are the black and white ones. I take a lot of pictures of my kid, and so that's the ones that I really love. But I spent a lot of time in figuring out how to not have people have to scroll through filters, but to use something that feels like an actual camera versus filters, and to have something that feels kind of like you're actually shooting film. And to do that is very difficult. I have some coding background experience, not a ton. So to build this was a lot of work, and I probably spent way more time than necessary to actually make the outputs look good. They're kind of more built for shooting outdoors, but indoors is fine. And yeah, it's been super fun.
No, I'll
Good
tell you,
feedback so far.
I was using the neon night one, and we were out at like a holiday cocktail bar, and I did it with Flash, and it
Mhm.
turned out really well. So
Yeah. So yeah, download it, play around with it. I love to hear feedback. So if anybody does download it, hit me up.
yeah. And then are you done with all your holiday shopping yet?
I am almost done with my holiday shopping. Mostly I have a 4-year-old, so it's been a lot of figuring out what she wants from Santa this year. And
Mm-hmm.
her requests are very, very specific. So including a unicorn monster truck with a remote control. So,
I want that.
yeah, it's pretty awesome. I already got it for her. But she told me I have to draw the picture on her letter to Santa so that Santa knows what it looks like, because she's worried he won't know what it looks like.
I mean, you gotta look out. You gotta look out for these things.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
very important. So yeah, now we're wrapping up the year. We all know January can tend to be a lot slower for commercial photography. Budgets are resetting. People are figuring out their footing. No, I honestly, I mean, it's December 12th right now. Hardly anyone's working. They're wrapping up everything as we speak. So it's about getting ready, starting the year off right, getting prepared for what you need for this year. So what are your plans? What do you have going on?
So I think I always think of this, that at the end of the year, I always tend to think back on what my New Year's resolutions were the year before, and whether or not I kind of stuck to them. And I always kind of do sort of two, which is sort of personal and professional, right? And 90% of the time, the personal ones, of course, like everybody, last a few months. I think
Mm-hmm.
I was supposed to learn French this year. I learned a little, but I stopped that after about 3 months. But professionally, I always kind of make a overarching kind of like, not a goal, but more of a target, right? Goals are something that you're like, I want to 10x this, or I want to do this other thing. Whereas a target to me is something like, I am going to work on X, or something that's a little more ambiguous. And that's something that you can just kind of carry through for the rest of the year. So going forward to this upcoming year, personal, I don't know yet. But professional, I feel like I always sit down and I really like to think about, is there something that I could do that's more of a practice, right? So I think this past year was just to stay more organized. And I've done a really good job at doing that this year. But I started using Notion and some other software. I've done a really good job of carrying that through the entire year, and just feeling like everything is always where I know it needs to be and very well organized. This year, not sure yet. I still have to figure it out. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a firm believer in these goals for professional should not be money oriented. I know people that do that. It's like, I need to earn this much money or this much a month. And I've learned that that becomes too much of a burden. Um, in fact, I'm very lucky this year that my wife was like, let me just handle all the invoicing and all of that. So I've had zero idea. I'm just like, I'm going to keep working. You do the thing. And it turned out to be an amazing year. So I think when you're not stressing about all those little things and just making sure you're worrying about the client and the creative and delivering the best possible thing and pushing yourself creatively. So that's what I'm looking forward to, is like finding other ways creatively to deliver, follow up on new clients. I want to get back into shooting key art for TV shows and things like that. I've dabbled a little bit in it. And I used to do it more when I was full time. Luckily, I just shot for Puppy Bowl. Um, the key art will be for that, and it'll be coming out early in the year for Super Bowl, leading up to Super Bowl. So that's a great like jump start to my year. Having that come out, email campaign, update website, all of that stuff on there. So then I can reach out to more clients. I mean, look, the entertainment media industry is so up in the air right now. My old company's being bought by someone, who knows at this point, Netflix, Paramount, we're not sure. Um, so there's a lot less opportunity, I think, unfortunately, in that world. But if you do it right and connect with the right people, I think it's possible. And I have those connections. So I'm going to try to really push for that.
Yeah.
Um, Personally, it's like, yeah, like we've talked about, we need to meditate more. We need to just like find time to relax. I need to sleep better. I stay up too late doing things. You've lived with me, you know what it's like.
Yeah.
It's like finding things like
Yeah.
that, uh, and just finding time to enjoy it, maybe plan some vacations. Uh, yeah, but just finding good people to work with that are fun and enjoyable and appreciative is really the goal that I think everyone should look forward to.
Yeah. I think it's important, like at the end of the year, to think about the things that you did well and the things you could do better on, and then not beat yourself up over it, but just kind of review the year. And then for the year going forward, think about what is it that you can do. Like, let's say that your goal is to get more work, right? Instead of saying, I need to make more money or I need to get more work, you can say, what is actually in my control? You could say, well, marketing is in your control. So you can say, I'm going to spend more of my time marketing myself, whether that's rebuilding your portfolio, whether that's actually starting an email campaign or going to some networking events, like some simple things that you can do that aren't really tied to the outcome, but are just tied to you actually working on something. And that makes it so much easier because you can actually just go out and do those things. And look, I think the thing is if you think, okay, 2026, my goal is to market myself better, it's easy. You can just make a list of what does that really mean to you, and you can just periodically do some of those things. At the end of the year, you can look back and say, did I market myself better? Like, how well did I do? What did I actually do? There's no metric that somebody else can say, no, you didn't market yourself better,
Hmm.
right? As long as you did something, then you actually feel like you're doing something. You just kind of have to pick and choose and say, this is what I'd like to get better at this year, and then try to do that.
And I think it's important to remember your current clients in all of this and are people you have worked with in the past and maybe haven't worked with in a while. Reach out to them, go get coffee, go grab lunch, just send them a message, even if it's like, hey, I just shot this cool thing. It reminded me of our shoot for whatever. Because the clients that know you and maybe they haven't had budget to do something for a while, they're your, they should be your target because if it's people you like working with, do it and they trust you already. So just always follow up. It's more about the connections with people than the actual stuff you're shooting sometimes.
Yeah, 100%. Well, I think that's a good place to leave it. We'll have one more episode that comes out before the end of the year. Not sure what we're going to talk about then, but hope everyone's enjoying the holidays and enjoying family and isn't dealing with too much stress.
Oh, have an easy holiday coming up.
Same, same.
It's just going to be nice and chill. And then after this, we're going to go on and book you a flight to come here. So for something else.
We could say it's a
And
bachelor party. We could say it.
yeah, we should record our
Yeah.
next episode. Yeah, like our one friend that's still not married
Yeah.
somehow.
We have two.
Oh yeah, we have two. You're right. Okay. Um, Maybe we record the next episode like at the casino that we're going to. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I think that's a great plan.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for listening. Bye.